Hello, World of Tank Blitzers. It's December 16th. It's Friday. It's time for another store review. We've got our Christmas garage ready. We've also got the start of the Snow Globe event. So let's discuss that first. Yuletide Express. You're going to get 2 jingle bells for every victory for the next 11 days. This event is a little bit shorter than in years past. Not a whole lot to write home about in this list as you progress your way up. We've got 10 gold boosters here, and we've got 25 gold boosters here as primarily the best, items in this list. But if we can get up to the Type 62, it's going to take 305 jingle bells, or guaranteeing yourself a tank, the Snow Globe, at 480 jingle bells. So that is 22 victories per day. If you want to get both of these, I think it's going to be 30 victories per day. That's a lot of blitz. That's a lot of winning blitz, to be honest with you. So let's take a look first at the Snow Globe, because obviously that is the primary goal here. It's a guaranteed tank. So you can see here's about 33 tanks in this list. Nice thing that Wargaming has added recently is the check marks here besides tanks that you already have, so you can quickly see which ones you still need. I think there's 6 in here that I am still missing, but I mean, AMX, Concept 1B, 9001P, T22, these are some really nice tanks in here. Start getting down into some of the lower tier tanks. Tier 8, the G-Sword, T77 I'm still missing. We've even got the Dracula, the Smashing, the Helsing, the Annihilator. So if you're missing any of those, quite intriguing to try to get those, I would imagine. Plus, you're going to get the charm here for the STRVK. After 10 snow globes, you are guaranteed to get that tank. Now, there are gold boxes that you can purchase for 1,500. You notice down here, 0 of 5 until free box. So you're going to get these kind of looking frosty emblem here. For every 5 of these that you open, you're going to get a free container. So it's going to be enticing to use some gold. Now, the one thing that I didn't really like about this was the fact that if you have any of these tanks that drop, a very low drop chance here, you're only getting silver. Not a lot else that's really good in here, outside of the fact that there's a 10% chance to get a snow globe, which is obviously what everyone wants. And you're going to get a guaranteed 3 jingle bells. So that's going to cut down on the number of wins that you need dramatically if you open quite a few of these. Also, you've got a free container here. Once you open this, it'll go down to 50,000, and you get 50 of those at 50,000 using free XP. So if you're someone like me with 4 million free XP, nothing to spend it on, I'm going to open up a lot of these containers. So let's see what's inside here. What I do like, if you drop one of these tanks, you're going to get gold in return. Again, very low chance of that. There is about, I think I added this up, 30% chance of getting a small amount of gold out of this, and only a 2% chance of getting the snow globe. After the first 50, the price is going to increase, but so will the percentage chance of getting a snow globe out of that event. So always fun time of year to try to get those snow globes and guarantee yourself a tank. Halfway through the month, so we've still got time here to finish the Battle Pass operation Once Upon a Time at Christmas. Like I said before, over 3,000 gold, Frosty as your tank. This is really good, I think, for those medium level players that are still grinding, because there's still a lot of benefit with all of these 5x boosters and whatnot for the value of the battle pass itself. And now let's hop into the store, and we are going to see gold and a lot of gold. Best deals of the year here. Box for 1,500 gold for $2. That's 750 gold per dollar. Great deal. You can do that 4 more times. 7,500, still 750 gold per dollar. You can do that 3 more times, stepping it up in gold per dollar to about 860, 870 here. You've got 2 of those, $23, 20,000 gold. And at 1,000 gold per dollar is the 50,000 gold box. So if you're looking to get gold here, and remember guys, we should have the auction coming up, which will be for gold as well. So please keep that in mind as well. So best deals are right here on top of the store. Not too intriguing here on spending this much money for premium time. You know, you can find premium time all over the place. I wouldn't necessarily spend that gold there. These deals just pale in comparison to everything else in the store, so skip on over these. And this is going to be real quick because there's not a lot new in the store from last week. If things change dramatically later in the day, I'll put out an update to this. Let's start with the countdown here before I get to the progetto. So you've got 1,500 gold for dollars, really not a great deal. Go ahead and pass on that, especially with all of the other gold deals in the store right now. $15, and just think here, if you're, you know, even if you're at $600 per gold or gold per dollar, that's 9,000 gold for the progetto. So I would much rather, you know, see if you can get this for gold. It's going to be a smaller investment on your part. So not too intrigued by that one there. The great choice, I've talked about this many times before. You're going to guarantee yourself a tank with this mystery certificate here. But the problem is, as we scroll through all of these tanks, which it looks like I have just about every single one of them, there's over half of these are tier 5 and tier 6. So chances are you're going to come away with a tier 5 or tier 6. So for 16 bucks, I don't think that that deal is worth it either. Super Conqueror Rex, we've talked about that tank. I really enjoy this tank. I still think 25,000 gold is on the steep end for the tank. If you can, wait for it to come down. Maybe we'll see it in the auction. The top-notch collection, we talked about a host of tanks, typically with a 20 to 25% chance, but guaranteed to get gold if you don't get the tank. Again, with the amount of gold that you can buy for $100, I think you're much better going that route than gambling on potentially getting one of those tanks. And there are good tanks in that list for sure. The Rumpanzer, 15,000 gold, way too expensive. Pass, pass, pass. The Panzer, now I understand that this tank got a slight buff to it recently. I have not played it since then. So you've got 2 collect them all containers here with just a 5% drop chance. So really, you know, as far as containers go, certainly towards the bottom end of those as far as value go. The tier 8 tanks, certainly not one of my favorites. Maybe the buff made it a little bit more enjoyable. 5,500 for a tier 8 tank is good. The 5x boosters are only good for that tank, which is bad. So this is kind of a mediocre deal at best. Just a lot of other tier 8 medium tanks that are stronger than that tank for sure. Concept 1 lockbox key. You know, if you've want to take a chance on this, the odds of getting the tank are not that great. Let's see here if we can find the percentage. 3% chance on the Concept 1B. You know, what keeps everyone coming back to these containers is the parts. But what ends up happening is you get parts from all of these other different tanks, and you can't quite reach, you know, getting 100 parts for that tank. And so it forces you then to feel like you have to open more and spend more money on those keys. Just a note, if you do buy a package of keys, those keys can be sold back for 300 gold, or they can be saved for the next lockbox event. Probably not going to be worth it with our cheap gold that's out there, but you know the deal with these lower tier tanks. You can play them for a little bit. 1,800 gold here for $3, $300 per gold. Going to give you 2 garage slots if you do decide to play them and sell them. So, you know, if you want a little fun at tier 3, play them for a little bit, sell them. You're not really losing a whole lot, and you're gaining those 2 garage slots. Premium pass $5, license $3. The license allows you to open up all of the previous weeks, which allow you to finish the event much quicker. Double impact here. So 2 tanks that are actually really fun to play, in my opinion. WZ112. I like it because it's not the pike nose, and this tank does get a lot of bounces on it. Gun can be a little bit troll at times, but at a tier 8 heavy tank, it does fare pretty well. The T-34 is a hard-hitting gun here, so let's see what the average damage, 400 average damage with this gun. The downside is the tech tree variant of this tank is exactly the same outside of the credit coefficient, so not really something you have to spend money on to have that tank, as there's really not a whole lot different for it. 5x boosters there are only good for those tanks. So I'd probably pass on that deal right now until we see what else is coming down, especially with the auction. And then we talked about the 5x boosters last week, and I didn't even notice this. Someone left a comment. I appreciate it. Having 100 5x boosters at tier 8. The benefit of the 5x boosters is to be used for those tanks in which you're grinding. You can't turn it on or turn it off, so you can't take a break. You have to really, to maximize the value of these, have to play only with tier 8 tanks that you're grinding. So you might not have many tier 8 tanks that you're grinding. To have 100 of them, you're gonna get from tier 8 to tier 9 super quick. Yeah, they will stay there at tier 8, which is good, and you necessarily won't use them unless you play tier 8 premium or collector tanks, which then kind of defeats the purpose of having those 5x boosters. So if you're going to do it, I would do this, you know, kind of on the lower end, and make sure that, you know, you play all 10 of those battles in tanks that you have not unlocked the next tank in the tech tree. So I think that, you know, we talked about the Eagle 75. Not a big fan. Rumpanzer, Super Conch, we talked. WZ T-34. Definitely pass on the Chinu Kai tier 5. Tank isn't even quick. The gun's mediocre at best. I'm really not a big fan. 25 5x boosters, only good for that tank. This is the price that you should be paying for a tier 8 or tier 9 tank. You know, I would not spend that. So something new, camos here. This is a lot of friggin' camos, and kudos to Wargaming. I think these are pretty cool. Some of them, I like more of the historical camos outside of, you know, some of these more fantasy camos. But I imagine that these probably sell really well, and that's why Wargaming has added these to the store. So basically, you are just paying gold to change the color and the name of your pixel tank. Really not a whole lot of point talking about these. If you're going to buy gold, make sure you do it from the ones up at the top. Make sure you're opening your containers on a daily basis. And that's going to wrap up the store. So get out there and start getting those wins and get yourself a snow globe and a guaranteed tank. So with that, guys, have fun out there. Stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.